Welcome, everyone, to Happy Equinox, first of all. And this is our Mary Magdalene ceremony for the opening of New Earth Priestess for the spring session. So I'm real excited that all of you could show up and be here with us. This is always a blessing every time we do it. So happy that all of you are here. Okay, so we're going to just jump right in right now. We're going to call in sacred space and let other people pop on as we do that. Hi, Jan. All right, I got to get this out of the way. All right, everyone, let's all take a big deep breath in. Wow, Maya, let me know if that doesn't go away. Hopefully it will. Whew. Let's all take a big deep breath. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your grounding cords, drop your roots, send them all the way down into the earth and just spread them out. Let them go out and intermingle with all the other roots all around you. And then inhale, draw that earth energy up by your intent through your body, send it up and out through the top of the head, connect with the heart of the Divine Mother above us. Inhale, draw that celestial energy down through your body, send it all the way down into the earth and activate that as above, so below flow. We are so unique in the universe. We are celestial beings having a physical experience. So we have our toe in both worlds. And because of that, we can spiritualize matter. And this is one of the ways we do it, by opening circle and consciously making that connection up and down. So then connect to that flow. Breathing in and breathing out, activate the as within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. Moving to the north, we welcome Mother Earth. We give such great thanks to be in a body. Moving to the south, we welcome water. We welcome clear, clean current, emotional energy. We welcome love and joy and flow into our circle. Moving to the west, we welcome air, mind, focus, clarity. Moving to the east, we welcome fire and movement and passion, divine right action. Moving to the center, we call in the goddess. We call in Mother Mary Magdalene in all her beauty and all her power. We call that beautiful energy down through our bodies, and we call up Mama Gaia to pull and magnetize that energy through us. And we welcome our own sweet, extraordinary souls into this circle. We ask that all these energies be with us, pray with us, dance with us today for our mutual benefit. Oh, so we're going to dance, we're going to move, and we do that to activate all the things we've called in. While we're dancing, I'm going to invite you to connect with the spirit of the Magdalene and allow her to open the divine feminine essence and let it flow through you. Okay, here we go. right. Okay. We are going to open with a prayer to the Cosmic Mother. So I just invite all of you to just sit back and receive. This is from Judy Zion in the Magdalene manuscript. O great Mother, divine feminine, birther of the cosmos and lover unto spirit, creatrix of all matter and queen of all worlds within worlds and those without, we call to you this hour. We are your children. Please hear our call. We are the daughters and sons of your divine union, the flesh of your passion for life. You who lay with spirit, our Father, in the beginning of time, and brought us forth from the blessed union of spirit and matter. We are your children, the sons and daughters of your flesh and your heart. And we remember your touch and the fragrance of your essence. And we long for you. Come into our hearts and gift us the remembering. Come into our minds and open our genius. Enlighten us with your presence. Draw back the veils that we might see and hearken the doors to open, that beauty and ecstasy may live in our homes and hearts more fully. This is our hour of greatest need. We call to you through fire and water, through earth and wind, through all that bears your name. We call on all your lineages and all your names. Come to us. Come to us. So be it. It feels like every time I pray that prayer and we get to the hour of our greatest need, it's more the hour of our greatest need. And it feels like that today. So Magdalene's feast day traditionally falls in the sign of Leo, but her true birthday is today. It's the birthday of all prophetesses. I don't know how you say that word, but Teresa of Avila, Joan of Arc, many women, wise women in that lineage were born today. And I know two women that have birthdays today. It's a very potent and powerful day. And so we are still in the equinox window. And I thought, what a better, there's not a better way to celebrate that window of new beginnings than to celebrate it with Maggie. So when the sun is in Leo, which is really, it speaks to her personality. It illuminates the mysteries of self-love. That's what Leo's all about, connecting with miracles of self-confidence, self-approval, self-acceptance, and self-respect. Hallmarks of a priestess. So within our inner heart flame, the flame of divine love and acceptance, the pure essence and truth of who we are and why we're here shines brightly. So for me, it's no accident that that's when her feast day falls. I don't really know if the church fathers that set that up knew this, but she did. So when Leo is in its full strength and power, this energy knows and remembers its radiant and shining divine essence that's shared by all life. So by way of introduction, I always love to read this passage from Marianne Williamson, a return to love. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So there are many of you here today. And if you're here today, you know that beyond Equinox, beyond just what it is on the calendar, this is a holy moment. Look around. Everything that we're experiencing is rebirth. Birth is messy, and it feels a little bit messy out there. But if we are alive on this planet right now, we were born for this. We've got this. We know how to do it. So on behalf of her, I thank you. The journey that all of us are embarking upon, whether you choose to join us in Priestess or not, is necessary. It's important. And she needs us. And our sisters need us. Priestesses are anchors. They anchor, just like when we call in sacred space and we call down that energy, we anchor the divine onto this planet. And so it is imperative that as many of us that can do this in a formal way on a regular basis. The planet, in case you haven't noticed, is changing. Our bodies are changing. Literally, cellular DNA is changing. Higher and higher frequencies are hitting the planet. And all of that is for our growth. All of that is to help us improve. But as it happens, and it's happening to all of us, if we don't understand what's going on, it can feel scary and it can feel heavy. I can't tell you how many women are feeling the weight of this, and it's showing up like depression. It's showing up like lethargy. It's showing up like lack of motivation. But this is why we need priestesses and high priestesses and all those initiations, so we can hold the balance for ourselves, our sisters, and the rest of the planet. So it's good to know that we're all in good company. So let's talk about Maggie for a little bit. It's been more than 30 years since the Vatican formally proclaimed that Mary was not the fallen woman of Luke's gospel, and that Pope Gregory the Great had created that story, imagine that, to further his own purposes in the Dark Ages. Imagine that. Still going on, right? But 2 millennia of public opinion is hard to erase. The Vatican's admission of error in the 1960s, and I still think there's a lot of people that don't know about this. My whole family, case in point. It hasn't really erased anything, and it hasn't been any more effective than a retraction buried on the last page of a newspaper. So essentially, Magdalene becomes the godmother of misunderstood females. And that's why I say she's the goddess for our time, because all of us can kind of fall into that category. She's the first woman of major importance to be intentionally and completely altered and maligned by the writers of history. That's from The Expected One by Kathleen McGowan. If you have not picked that book up, please do so. But there's more. And this, I just want you to just put this on for a minute and feel into it. I want you to imagine that the love of your life has been pulled from your grasp and killed before your very eyes, and not in a very kind way, in a very horrendous way. And then imagine that the men around you have tried to discredit you and your spiritual wisdom from the beginning. Feel familiar? And then imagine that these men become active in trying to erase your life and your story. How would you feel? Sad, angry, indignant, frustrated, fearful? Would there be a deep, abiding, what I call holy rage? The Magdalene doesn't disappear. She pops up all over the place, again and again, in many folk mythologies of Alexandria, Egypt, and France. She is a survivor, and she survives this tragedy. And I'm a survivor, and I'm here to tell you that it's not the sadness that drives you. It's not the heavy that carries you out of the darkness and into the light and into a new story. It's anger. Anger is not necessarily a bad thing. It is just a big ball of energy that can be directed. And in fact, it's very close to optimism. It says, I don't deserve this. I deserve better. Anger that this atrocity has been done, and anger that it's still being done on this planet right now, that imperial and colonial systems still oppress and kill women and children, still discredit spiritual visionaries, still destroy our sacred groves, our oceans, our fields, our planet. I say, holy anger is what saved me, and holy anger is what got the Magdalene away from the vengeful apostles, out of the danger of Herod and Pilate's wrath. And it drove her into the new stories and strange lands. It saved her. Yeah, for sure, Mia, for sure. So, but now here's the thing. This doesn't mean that we should all rage on the establishment. She was wise. It saved her for a fundamental reason, because she used it appropriately. She didn't unleash on any of them. She used that energy to fuel her vision and propel her to the next version of herself. So it wasn't directed outward. She used it as fuel, as energy that she needed to rise from the ashes and create a movement of love that has encompassed the globe. She knew Yeshua intimately. She knew the seeds that needed to be planted. And she just planted them in a different place. She just moved herself and said, okay, we'll plant it here. So she refused to let that movement die just because he did. She planted and continued that ministry, and it went on to spread across the globe. So let's take a look at her gifts, because her gifts are what we get to enjoy. Her gifts, compassion, and grace. So we're going to take some excerpts from the Gene Keys. This is an amazing book, another one that you need to have on your bookshelf. It's by Richard Rudd, and it's a divine download of the 64 sections of the I Ching, reworked for our new age. They correspond with the 32 double helix strands of our DNA. And so they speak deeply to us at a soul level, and they're numbered. So it's going to come as no surprise to many of you that the gene key for grace is the number 22. It's also Maggie's number, the number of the prophetess. So just sit back and let this fall on your ears. True grace is difficult to describe in words. The reason for this is that you need to experience it in order to know what it is. Although grace is a word that is often used in spiritual circles, it should not be used lightly. Rather, it needs to be treated with the utmost respect. Grace has to be earned through graciousness. To find graciousness in the face of suffering, and perhaps to find something more. Holiness itself, wearing a disguise. It teaches us not to turn our face away from the pain life offers us. We are all here to be tested until we can show that faith in nature herself can never again be lost. So this calls on us to dig to the deepest deep we can dig to and pull power from the earth. Grace is a presence that descends on humanity. And like all of the siddhis, it requires that we meet it halfway, which for us humans may seem like a very long way. This is, after all, a perfected state in which everything about you and your life will be changed permanently. When true grace descends, it wipes out your past karma in a flash. It also wipes out the karma of your ancestors and their ancestors. Grace softens your rough edges, puts a permanent end to your fear, and leaves you in no doubt whatsoever about your divinity. It also ensures that you never again forget. It is impossible to measure in words the sheer number of blessings that grace bestows when it alights on us. One who has been touched by grace is always touched by grace. If it happened to you 1 millennia ago, or in another universe or another incarnation, it will never leave you. It will go on bathing you again and again. To be in the presence of someone manifesting this siddhi is to be entranced by the aura of love that surrounds them. It is something you can never forget, and it will stir your own soul to seek it until you find it. Grace is the very breath of the divine. It is always there, waiting for us high above, if we only persist in our sacrifices. Wherever there is oppression, there is the possibility of grace. If you can face oppression with a gracious spirit and a forgiving heart, grace will come to you sooner or later. Grace is a feminine spirit, and she cannot resist giving herself to those who smile in the face of adversity. You cannot hide from grace. Grace is your true nature. It is your inheritance. It is the soul of the world. It is also a state that is beyond the laws of our world. If grace touches you, you no longer create karma. If grace touches you, you no longer have your own destiny, but become a musical instrument tuned and played by the gods. With grace, all human emotion is instantly transformed into love. It is not a state with which most human beings are very familiar. As a species, however, we are moving into a new epoch that will be marked by grace. Isn't it beautiful that we can see this playing out on the world stage right now, right before our very eyes, as we watch the Ukrainian people and their experience and how they behave toward the individuals that are ripping their country apart. Mm. Yes, the book, The Gene Keys, is where these are from. That's why I introduced it at the beginning. Richard Rudd is the author. So we're going to do a guided meditation, and you're going to get a chance to meet with the Magdalene and see what she has to say to you. So I'm just going to invite you to sit back, relax, close your eyes, and breathe. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. Let your shoulders drop, let your roots go down, let your body relax. And imagine yourself walking on a beautiful sandy beach. Maybe it's sunset. And the sun is setting over the water. And as you walk down the beach, the water washes across your feet. Your toes sink into the sand. And you look up and you see this beautiful, glowing being coming toward you. And the closer she gets, the more you can feel her, and your heart opens immediately. And very soon you are face to face with the Magdalene herself. And she embraces you. And she takes your hands in hers. And she looks deeply into your eyes. And she says, welcome. I am so glad you are here. How can I help you? What can I do for you? What answers do you desire? So just take a moment with her. You can journal if you want to journal this, or you can just be in it. And let her speak to your heart. Where do you need her divine assistance. So take another minute or so to complete and then thanking Mary Magdalene for all of her insight, for all of her wisdom, knowing that you can come back here anytime and connect with her. Feel her embrace you once again and up level your cells. And then watch as she turns and walks back down the beach. Watch as her form gets smaller and smaller until she's just a tiny beam of light. And then watch that light sail out to the heavens and hang itself like a star in the sky. Blessed Mother, as we ponder the gift that your life and example has given humanity, may we be blessed with your grace. May we always remember that compassion and grace are gifts to be shared. May we be reminded of the richness embedded in the fabric of our aliveness, and may we be ever grateful for the gift of your love. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Mhm. Sweet. Okay. So today we begin yet another 9-month cauldron, a birthing cauldron, a priestess birthing cauldron. So if you feel called to do this in a formal way, the New Earth Priestess Cauldron is still accepting new members. We begin formally next week. We all, none of us ever want to come out of that, Joyce. That's why I send the recording. You can go back. We want to just curl up in there and stay there forever. So all the more reason that, seriously consider, all of you, doing Priestess. This is where we do this once a week, every week. So we have plenty of reasons right now to engage our holy rage. And the world, our world, is in desperate need of grace. And the Priestess Cauldron is the perfect way to up-level yourself and allow her to bring it through you. So if you're interested in that, I'll be putting the links so that you can talk to me if you want. I'll also be putting the links to read the sales page and look at that. If that interests you at all, do not let price be an inhibitor. Make an appointment with me if you need to. All right, everyone, we're going to dance. We're going to close our circle here in just a minute, but I want us to integrate everything that we've done together and really feel her energy. I love this. I've done this over and over again, and there are many priestesses on this call right now that have been to this over and over again. I never change it because it calls her in. Yeah, it is, Rachel. It's always real. She's here right now. So please, please, please take advantage of that. And as we dance, really allow yourself to connect to her wisdom and ask her what she thinks. Ask her if it's for you right now. I highly encourage you to do that. Okay, here we go. Let's get up and move some more. All right, everyone. I give such great thanks to the elemental forces for holding space for us today. I give thanks to Maggie for her presence here on this planet, her constant abiding grace and love that showers around us always. And I give thanks for these beautiful souls that have joined me and are pursuing their sacred work. And I close this circle in the light. All right, y'all, reach out. I will send the recording. Much love to all of you. See you soon. All right, I got to get out of here. Maybe.